All right, we are here in Parque Florencia near Antigua, Guatemala. It's managed by the municipality of Antigua, Guatemala. And we're gonna reduce this snag down to an acceptable level of risk and leave it as a habitat snag in the park here. But we're gonna put a remote tie-in up in here and a remote rigging point, and then I'm gonna put a secondary line over here, and that I can be between the two lines as I work, because I'll have to work up pretty high on this, and who knows what it is. You know, we see some saprophytes here on the branch, so a lot of this could be fairly fragile. This big tree here, this is a quercus, big oak. Okay, he's all the way up and over. Yeah, we can fish something in with that for sure. Got one rope. Where's my other climbing bag? Hope I have a second rope. Yeah, it must be in here. There we go. Got worried there for a minute. These are nice bags. They travel well on the plane with all these snap downs. Anthony Buckberger donated this bag. He had it, and so I thought, oh, that'll make a good rigging bag for Guatemala. It snaps down nicely. Then you got a nice little pad here to throw stuff on. We probably won't need this today. And where is my other remote rigging? There it is. We're gonna set this up there. Tiene 600 libras.
Ajá, 600 libras de capacidad
yeah.
del peso. Esto es una bolsita
600-pound tensile. Oh, yeah, either or. I use a body stern gate.
I use the
yeah,
the top hitch.
Yeah, either way. This is a choker hitch, or you can do by a string gate.
Se puede usar un by string
clove hitch
o uno de patita de marrano si quieren.
And that'll hold. Yeah, in Spanish, the clove hitch is ballestrinque. Clove hitch would be easier. So you've got a high set. We're gonna mule in a different line. Get a heavy carabiner here. For mule, we're gonna mule up another line.
Okay.
Do you have a secondary line?
As far as I know, yes.
We'll tie something that's not gonna come undone. Yeah, it's a quercus, so I'm pretty confident with quercus.
What would be the criteria to choose?
You know, you want to look for imperfections like decay or different things.
¿Cómo seleccionar la rama? Eso es crítico.
So we're gonna mule a line in So, one shot, two lines. Okay, now this one. Remember, there's no knot. When it gets tangled, there is no knot. Don't, you know, the throw line can be very frustrating because it gets tangled. Okay, so we're gonna put this one through the big ring. And we're going to, we have to make sure. All right, this is our line. We want to make sure we're not tangled. All right, so let's make sure we have our lines. Okay, put this down here. Okay.
Para poderlo jalar, pero que luego el peso pueda volver a caer. ¿Sí?
So we are going to set this rigging point remotely.
Para que no nos vuelva. Pruning puede ser también, pero para aplicar un pruning con esto es muy complicado, entonces ballestrinque y luego medios ballestrinques para ir jalando la cuerda.
And then ballestrinque
Very close
to the tip.
Para pasarlo en los anillos, el último nudo tiene que quedar así pegadito a la punta para que pase por los anillos. Si dejamos una punta muy larga, esa punta va a salir y va a evitar que dos cuerdas, cuerda de rigging y cuerda de
Fácil. Yeah. That went pretty smooth.
Yes.
My fácil was a joke.
Listo, otra vez. I don't know if it's a must be with you, but I usually knot the ropes here.
Oh yeah.
If somebody
pulls it,
really
oh,
easy, you lost your.
Horrible. Yeah. Okay, so now I want my climbing line. Where are those? We want to mule up my. I want to put my climbing line on one now. So we'll do the same thing with. I'm just trying to decide where to put it. I think I'm going to we'll set my line there, and I'll set a canopy anchor, and we'll attach a throw line to it, and put the throw line out of the way, so that I can have a safer tie-in. If we do a basal anchor, it's, you know, because we're so high in the canopy, we should have a canopy anchor.
Directo a la rama arriba para que solamente esté una vez el peso de él arriba.
So he was explaining, I'm gonna put a canopy anchor up here. I probably don't have enough rope, so we're going to attach a throw line.
Or another rope here.
Or another rope. Yeah, that would be stronger, more durable. We can go hasta guia por hasta guia. So I couldn't bring my extra long, man, we're almost there. Yeah, so close. So we won't need much. So haz de guía, haz de guía.
Haz de guía con haz de guía. La razón por la que estamos uniendo estas dos cuerdas es porque si esta continúa él jalando, se va a quedar en el aire y no vamos a acceder a ella. Entonces no vamos a tener la oportunidad de recuperar la cuerda sin tener que hacer cosas extrañas.
Este es Quercus, es muy duro, you know, so. Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it'll probably hold. Possibly. Yeah, probably. All right, I'm gonna set a second line in this tree over here so that I can have dos líneas. Porque este es maduro. It's dead, right? And it could break on me. All right, so gotta set a second throw line. We got some observers. Oh, he didn't like my beep. There's dogs everywhere. The basic rule is don't touch the dogs. Got the Milwaukee top handle today. It traveled well. It's very durable, so for handling the baggage, the way they throw the baggage around. Okay, we're nice and sharp. We probably need to set up our rigging. Which one is which? Okay. This is actually the one we want. I think we will go over here to this one. Let's tie this down here, give it a little half hitch there. And we'll put our porter wrap over here. Okay, a cow hitch. Now you
aplicamos el nudo de vaca.
Now you can come underneath, but the force is going to be up, right? So we want to come
por abajo,
sobre.
Pero la fuerza va a ir hacia arriba. Entonces vamos a buscar que quede por arriba para que él mismo haga la presión y fricción en contra de la base del árbol. Y lo metemos por adentro otra vez.
En dos.
Y al hacer esas dos vueltas automáticamente dejamos un ballestring.
And then this goes through like this, and then you take wraps.
Y hacemos las vueltas que nos permiten hacer la fricción para controlar el peso de la rama.
So, all right, it's ready. Did you get one over there?
I think
So this will just give me, you know, a back tagline on myself. So, Benedict.
Kevin está aplicando un anclaje a la base del árbol.
So, a bowline on a bite.
Vamos a hacer,
a bowline with a bite.
Un ballestrinque a mitad de la cuerda.
So I just make a long bite, and then I treat that like a single rope.
Entonces, pero va a dejar esta cuerda por dentro del dentro del haz de guía.
And that will be seguro. Now we'll pull it up on the other side. Okay, so you can tell them the reason I set this was just for a back support. If I were to come off, I might swing all the way over and hit that trunk or something.
All right, you guys don't need to see this. These are the distal climbers. I really like them. You got the heel strap there. And the actual Velcro. You can get that nice and snug. Now, some guys are saying, oh, the sawdust, but you know, if you take the time to brush this out once in a while, it does work. So we got these priced to sell at $2.99. You probably won't find a better price. Black Friday special. GameOfTrees.com.
I'll be talking to the camera every once in a while. You can kind of interpret. Okay, Milwaukee saw right out of Wisconsin. Oh, I hope I have aceite in here.
We brought some oil.
Do you have some?
Yes, but it's
It doesn't matter. Number one issue with these electric saws, because you're never putting gas in them, is you always forget to put the oil in them. All right. Oliver to the rescue. He was the rescue last night too. He bought 5 dozen eggs. That was a good deal. I put on the wrong bar, or the wrong replacement blade, and I was sticking out the end of my thing, so I used a couple of pieces of plastic and extended my scabbard. You gotta make sure your cam is released so it actually holds. It's possible to have that locked out of place. Now I could just go over on the back side of this. You want to just hold that rope so I can. Oh, the bark is dead. So anytime you're coming up on epiphytes, you want to be cognizant of what might be in there. Things live in the tree, and that epiphyte isn't strong. Okay, so now I'm on my lanyard. I can take this off. Come on. Come on. All right, that 11.8 millimeter rope is pretty fat. You want to get this? Okay, remember you're on a bite here, on which end you put in this device. Make sure you're hooked up correctly. Yeah, we got a really dead tree. The bark is falling off. And your lanyard catches on everything. Oh, just about gaffed my knee. Mercy. Okay. This lanyard off. What are the odds of that? Okay. Okay, that was a mess with all the epiphytes and the breaking bark. Tell them, Oliver, that the trees in Wisconsin aren't so problematic. The epiphytes. You want to tie my second line on? I'll have to show you the quick hitch. The climbers are lazy. We don't like to untie things. A quick hitch would be like and then this comes up, and then I can pull this and make sure I've got the right two. Then I just pull. It's a spoiled climber thing. Don't make me work up here. The adjustment's a little tight on this one, which is fine because this is my back support. That is just too tight. Okay, so I'm gonna open that bad boy. I'm gonna, wow, that akimbo is really a tight adjuster. That's good. Usually they're so loose that you can't do it. All right, that's just like a little tagline extra. I'm trying to demonstrate some things. I'm all wrapped up over here on my line. That's interesting. I'm gonna be glad I have a second line just to get that all straight. Oh, vines. We all love vines, don't we, boys and girls? All right, now, okay, stand clear. All right, this is the Bolin Astiguilla in Spanish. If you just leave your left hand stationary and make your right hand do all the work, it's less problematic. I always like to do a Yosemite finish. Pretty simple. When you come through, you go back
you're on the inside, and you go around the outside, and then back through and up through the yoke, I call it. So then it runs right parallel with the standing part, and it's nice secure. If I put 2 slings in here, there's no way for this to work loose whatsoever. And the better part is that it's a neat, you know, lay of the line while working. All right, I got my fancy red one. Probably do it more of a tip tie on this. I'm gonna work my way up. I'm gonna get this branch out of here. Now I don't, you know, it's a little, I don't even know what I'm on here, what kind of tree I'm on. I'm gonna have a little idea of our integrity once I make the first cut. So yeah, you can tell them what I'm doing here. I want to take off this first branch because I don't have a clue what I'm on. I don't know what kind of tree it is. I don't know if it's prone to decay or not prone to decay. So I want to make a cut fairly early to see what I'm dealing with. You can draw up the slack on this one. Okay, I got a very sharp saw here. Yeah, it's fairly hard wood. Okay, I'm gonna tie that slip knot that I showed the other day. So on the blue line, all you'll have to do is pull the tail. This is a flying bowline. Oops, almost took away his pull option. When you dress it, you gotta spin it back around. Okay, and then okay, we need a hand on the blue one over here on the 3-strand. Can one of your guys grab that? The 3-strand, he's holding, let it go a little bit, but hold. Okay, the end is probably gonna fall. Right, it's gonna break. It's probably break off. And so that's why I want him to hold, because if it breaks, I want it to hit here. I don't want it to hit the shed. And I will cut kind of slowly, and maybe it goes slow, right? Okay. All right, that tells me it's fairly strong wood. Because it didn't break. Okay, ten cuidado. That's an important knot he's tying there, because otherwise I lose the line. That will hold on a 3-strand, yeah. 3-strand holds a overhand knot pretty good. I might show him a brake cut here. I'm gonna show him a brake cut. I'm gonna make an offset cut so then I can take it with my hands and throw it down. Okay, this could be a dead oak. You know, it's amazing, like all the oak trees I climbed in my life, and you know, I don't know if I'm on an oak tree. All right, so you know, I've got my climbing line. I'm gonna take the vital risk here and get this on the other side. Do not drop your primary climbing line. I'm gonna drop this because this is a pretty solid tree. So I'm gonna let this one go. It's just in my way. Famous last words. Okay, it was all for a demonstration anyways. Now, it's important, now that I took that line off, I need to use my double lanyard. Otherwise, I'm open to a swing. We're going to also hook up this okay, one man on both. I want to get my lanyard up above where that line's gonna run. All right, perfect. Perfecto. So the slings are useful for now sending things back up. We've got the carabiners, it's easy on, easy off. You can clip the ropes together. Okay, sometimes you can run 2 slings on 1 carabiner because the sling is the weak point. And now on this one, I have to cut the notch first before I put this on, because my saw is going to be cutting. So I can't, it will be in my way. And then I could choke this back. Now, I can hook it down here so that it stays out of the way, or I can leave it off, but I could hook it down here, and I'll cut my notch and then I'll cut up here. Okay, ¿está listo? Oh, it's gonna hang up. I just saw that it's longer than I thought it was. So I am going to change my angle of drop. This is some hard stuff. Okay, I have a directional hinge that way. And again, stuff might break off. Okay. So if there was a house down there, it wouldn't be a good idea. So, you know, it was kind of camouflaged up in there. I see we got a hanger. We can get that with a throw line. But yeah, we didn't have any stuff over there. But so now we just discovered that this is fragile, you know, somewhere above where I'm at, it's fragile. So probably we have still some integrity up here. You know, this is a very hardwood. This is oak, okay, Quercus. Interesting to see it. Let me get up here on this. Maybe I got better integrity. There's the look at that, all the saprophytes. We don't have a lot. Okay. So on that piece, you might show them. This is like a 12 centimeter piece, but there's only about, 6 centimeters or less of integrity. If you look at the end grain down there, you can see where the saprophyte fungus has decayed the outside of the limb. The outside of the limb is the strong part. My spikes are just digging in here. The most strength is in the outside of the, and it's gone. So yeah, so we got some issues. I don't really want to rig right on this. Are you agreeing with me? Yeah, 100% says, oh, yeah, my spikes are slipping. Yeah, Oliver is in agreement. Yeah, and I think I'll do some drop cuts over there. Maybe I should get that out of the way, and then I could send something right through here. Okay, so based upon that information, I'm altering my plan. Because we could probably take one more. Maybe we could take the top off of this. I was gonna rig this stuff to here, but not now. I'm not. I've got space down there. I can send it by itself. Okay. All right. I've been in a white oak like this before. I've been here before. I can probably, holy mackerel, that's shaking a lot though. All right. Okay, pull up the slack. All right, Oliver, I want my my secondary line. You can put it on the 3-strand. Nice! Oliver's on it. You don't have to show him twice. What can happen will, and what you don't think can happen will. So that is why I am putting on my back line. So I saw it as an inconvenience. But now if somehow if somehow, why is that so tight? Because my akimbo is not adjusted for this rope. Okay, which is good, because if I come off, this is gonna hold. This is gonna hold nice and solid. So now I have a, so now Oliver, you can tell him I have a more confidence now because I have a back line. So if this were to all come apart on me, I'm just gonna float out there and be just fine.
Okay, we are here below this Quercus tristes, and we got a piece of deadwood up there I'm gonna chase down. We've got a lower branch here with quite a bit of decay right by the, you know, picnic area. So we're gonna demonstrate some drop cuts, and then we've got a large dead snag on the tree we're gonna take off. Lots of branches in my way. We're at about 1,500 meters elevation. That'll make a guy breathe harder. For those of you that think I breathe a lot already. Okay. Yeah, let's go up here first. I like to wrap my hand on the ropes. I'm gonna lanyard in so I can cut some branches off. All right. Whew. Yeah. Where's the oxygen? So I'm on my chest right now. Oh, it slipped. Staying clear. Okay. Okay. A little more pruning. Okay. Now I'm gonna install my akimbo. Make sure you get the view here. It's a tight fit. I always feed my akimbo from the top.
and then to the bottom. Okay, I'm on a lanyard and I have my chest on. So as you can see, I'm connected to my chest. That's why I like this Camp Tree Access XT. Having that chest is nice for foot locking. You know, it's out of the way. I don't know, there's probably other applications for you foot and knee ascender folks. You could put a chest ascender on there and it would help hold you upright. That would be a good benefit. All right, stow this away. All right. All right, that could be a snag. That could snag me. A little piece of deadwood. Oh, I got branches. So I'm going to make a little cut. Just cutting a little stub. All right, so, oh look, I got a little bit of the live wood. I thought I was on the outside of that. Maybe I am, that's just maybe non-decayed wood. But, okay, I've got to cut that piece of dead wood off. So I can lean back against my tie-in. All right, I will cut an initial cut and then a finish cut. Now I can let myself out on my lanyard. Always good to look around when you're up here. You might see something. Okay. 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 Now I'm gonna make a preparation cut underneath and then a top cut. Now I didn't make a notch because I don't want this to come over, and maybe it hangs on and it goes to the obstacle. So I just made a single curve straight up, And now I'm gonna come straight down on top of this. And it should drop flat. Should. So that's how that's done. I was off just a little there, but we got a good brake cut. All right, now we can now the roof is right here, so I want a little bit of movement. I want it to move, but then I want it to drop. So I will make come on. Okay. So now it's gonna move a little bit, but I'm gonna stay on the cut because I don't want it to hang on and swing back. So I'm gonna let it move, and then I'm gonna cut it free. So you get a little bit of movement, but you stay right there, and then you go, and then you let it go. Okay. Okay, so this is Cuatro Los Pies, and maybe I'm 16 feet above the ground, but maybe 20, right? I don't know, how high am I? This is pretty close. This should go over and lay flat. One revolution.
Maybe like 24 feet high.
Yeah, okay. So this should be close to landing flat. Because I have the building, I wanna try to go perpendicular. So if it bounces, it's gonna bounce that way, not that way. Okay, I cut that. It'll kind of fall in there and then continue to move, and we'll get a flip. All right, let's see how I did. Yep. All right, I was a little high on this. This will be good. That'll be good trading. Because I was high over here, my saw almost got stuck in that curve. Like it wanted to go. You see what happened there? I was a little high. It's easy to, you know, from my angle, you know, it kind of looked like you're up there, but I had to tilt just a little bit. So that'll make a good talk-through lesson. All right, we're gonna make the finish cut. Anyway, in spite of having to pop my saw out of there. All right, I'm gonna climb back up here because to climb this would be difficult. Okay,
Now I'm gonna ride the arc and come on in out there. Okay. Okay. I think I can put this down and land it flat. I'm pretty sure, but you know it's gonna bounce that way. Let's make sure we're on right this second. Okay. Okay, hola la soga. Oh, close. There we go. He got it all the way. Okay, because this is bigger, I'm not gonna use the slings. I'm gonna tie it. Okay, because we're pretty high up, I don't wanna take the whole piece. I'm gonna do it in 2 pieces. Now, because it's hollow, maybe I could take the whole piece, but you know, second chances don't come very often. Now, I'm gonna tie this above center so that it's gonna come off in the same orientation. So, because the force is gonna be up, I wanna come sobre with my knot. You can pull up the slack. So I want this to choke back. Okay, and tuck the tail. All right, and I tuck it on that side so that yoke is captured in there. Okay, so you see how high this is? I'm gonna do a little bit more on the bottom. Take, yeah, 1 wrap, that's good. And so this should come off just like it's sitting. All right, so now I wanna be on the right level. Where is that? There's so many epiphytes on this thing. It's way down under there. Yeah, can't see where you're cutting. My problem on the other one. That stuff's hard. So it stayed just slowly. Wait, just wait it, be patient. All the way. Yeah, good. He's got good intuition. Oliver trains this guy as well. No, it was a cow hitch. De vaca. All right, yeah, we're pretty rotten here. Some termites going on in here. You can put your hand through, come around, and then it pulls right through. Okay, you need to be careful. Like my rope is right here. I am gonna put my second one on below because I want, my climbing line wants to pull me.
All right, that firms me up a little bit. Smells like oak. And todo. Déjelo. Yeah. All right. Ah. Ratones.
Una ardilla.
Oh, ardillas. Ardillas. La Madera, she'll come.
What?
She'll come. The mother will come.
Yeah, we will put it in the trunk and wait.
Yeah. Are they flying squirrel? Yeah, a little flying squirrel. Yeah.
Su telita aquí abajo. Esas son las que brincan.
Yeah. Yeah, the casualties. That's why we left the habitat. Safety first. Habitat second. So this is great. This is hard to explain, so I'm glad I made the mistake. Okay?
Difícil explicar, pero va a explicar por qué cometió un error.
It's important to cut at the apex.
Importante cortar justo ahí en la intersección del corte de superior con el corte de inferior.
Okay, in the tree I was on that side.
En el árbol él estaba posicionado atrás.
And you know, you have epiphytes and moss, and you can't quite see maybe where the apex is.
De este lado sí.
So over here though, I was still a little high. I started back here. Now what happened, I was high. And my saw was adentro when it fell.
Cuando cayó.
Right? That's malo. That's why you saw me, I shook it loose because it you know, it could have took my saw out of my hand. So it would be better to be debajo de un poquito, because then your saw would stay on the tree. So this was a great example. This left and it went over and I had to shake my saw out. Because that was heavy. It would have pulled my saw right out of my hand. So that's a great example. You want to be at the apex or just a little below. And I was deeper on this side than on this side. So anyways, good example.
So what would have happened if we would have pulled it off?
It probably would have hung. I got a lot of bungee here. Some lanyards are breakaway lanyards. I don't think this one is. But it probably would have altered the piece and then the saw would come out. But it wouldn't be fun.
Hay algo que estaba explicando Kevin, es de que en ese corte que realizó, ¿sí? Si se dieron cuenta, la sierra se movió un poco. Él la tuvo que liberar o sacudir para liberarla, ¿sí? Si la sierra hubiera quedado atrapada ahí, le hubiera quitado la sierra de las manos, obviamente lo hubiera golpeado. Tiene mucha experiencia, entonces ya sabe cómo hacer eso. Entonces él lo que recomienda es que el corte vaya directo al vórtice o a donde se juntan los dos cortes exactamente, o un poquito abajo. Arriba es la parte negativa o es el problema que puede causarnos
Yeah.
ahí atascados.
And when you're making, come over here. If I'm gonna make a break cut, then I'm gonna break off. You make the top one first, and then go debajo. Come on, cut. You devil. Because if this breaks, my saw stays with me. It's in the bottom.
Cuando hace el corte por abajo, aunque la sierra quede atrapada, se queda con él. En cambio, cuando es arriba, ¿qué pasa? Se va con la pieza que él cortó, ¿sí? Se va detrás de la pieza. Entonces
Yeah.
siempre a encontrar los dos cortes o por abajito, en todo caso.
In the break cut.
In the break cut, yeah. Because sometimes the break cut surprises you and leaves without your permission. And then you still have your saw. Yeah, okay. Well, I have some practical pruning to do to show.
La vida.
So this is a young quercus, and this is a bark ridge.
Y esta es una arruga de corteza.
And you know, the angle is not ideal.
El ángulo no es ideal.
When this is big, this is a possible failure.
Cuando el árbol siga creciendo, puede hacer que esta rama se caiga.
Right now it's an easy fix, you know.
Puede arreglar fácil.
Now, when you make a cut here, you don't want to start cutting right here, or the bark will tear.
You don't start behind. You don't want to start where?
You don't want to start right here,
No hay que comenzar aquí porque si no la corteza se va a rasgar.
you know. So we want to take some weight off first. Look out, it's coming
Primero hay
at
que
you.
quitarle peso.
See how I teared?
¿Vio cómo
Like
se
that?
rompió? Eso hay que evitar.
Okay, if that's here, that it's malo. So we do a front cut. Ten cuidado. And then we can make a finish. And the angle will be opposite the bark ridge.
Entonces va a ser el ángulo opuesto a esa arruga. Entonces como le quitó peso ya no se rasgó.
But you don't want to damage the bark ridge
Pero no quieren dañar esa arruguita.
because the decay will go vertical.
Entonces la pudrición se va a ir vertical.
And the decay will be minimal here.
Pero ahí va a ser, you know, Kevin, some along the road I learned that you treat this with some fungicide. Do you recommend?
We don't, you know,
in our areas, the Parques have oak wilt. It's a disease, a vascular disease, and we can't prune them during April, May, and June.
En Estados Unidos hay un hongo que mata los árboles que no pueden hacer podas en May.
En abril, mayo y junio.
En esas épocas
Y
no se debe podar porque entonces se contaminarían los árboles con el hongo, la enfermedad.
and in a lot of places, you know, hasta octubre. Talk with my hands.
But I've heard what we call, there's a fungicide made of copper and sulfur
Yeah, it's
for the less, we call it.
yeah, but it's not common.
Okay, but can it be used?
It could be,
Situation?
yeah,
Sí se podría tratar. Somebody asked me this question.
but it's I mean it's logistical
Complicated.
and not very necessary. The tree has a very good defense.
Okay, but let's say here that it rains 6 months a year. With rainy season would affect.
Yo recuerdo que sugerían echarle en la escuela, que sugerían echarle
Nosotros le llamamos-
cera, inclusive.
Nosotros usamos caldo bordelés.
Caldo bordelés.
But in the rainy season, the tree is growing very rapidly, so it will compartmentalize. The tree is as functional as it's ever going to be in the rainy season.
Entonces dice que el árbol está creciendo más en la época lluviosa, entonces va a desarrollar tejido más rápido en la época seca que en la época lluviosa que en la época seca.
So, Gleditzia triancanthos is a tree we have. Honey locust, Gleditzia. Do you have Gleditzia down here?
Es mimosace,
It's a legume,
yeah.
legumaceae, and Nectria canker is a fungal canker, and it's actually worse to prune it in the winter time if that's present.
Okay. Hay algunos hongos, él menciona uno en Estados Unidos que si se poda en invierno se va a morir el árbol,
Because the tree isn't growing rapidly.
porque el árbol no está. But winter in the United States,
Yes.
invierno en Estados Unidos es frío, very cold,
No
no lluvia.
yeah, no no leaves. And so the tree is dormant.
Sí,
It's
entonces,
not growing at all.
En Estados Unidos donde está lloviendo no hay hojas, el árbol está en descanso. Pero entonces he asked if sometimes you could put some wax on this.
Yeah, usually that traps moisture in, and the decay is worse behind it than it is.
Entonces no recomienda hacer.
Yeah.
En general que sane solo.
Now,
How about using lime, cal, the one we saw with the tortillas?
yeah, I don't know.
Everybody here has here.
Is that lime they're putting on the tree? Yeah. Some things never change. Yeah. But I know, you know, when we're pruning fire blight on apples or something, we'll spray our saws with alcohol.
Manzanos, ¿verdad? Hay
Bacterial blight.
Bacterias, entonces sí esterilizan la herramienta.
You spray it in between cuts. Yeah, every cut.
Cada corte se esteriliza la herramienta.
So on this small tree, every branch is temporary.
En este árbol pequeño, todas las ramas son.
I mean, look at the trunks. They're tall. Like every one of these is only for a moment. So we can take this off, but now up here we can see a bark ridge or a collar. Here's a dead branch, right?
Una rama muerta.
And the tree is growing out onto that branch. I don't want to cut here.
No quiere cortar paralelo al tronco.
I want to cut outside of that.
Hacia afuera. Ahí.
And it will put that in una caja.
Entonces va a seguir creciendo y va a sanar.
Here we can take this.
Primero se hace un corte para quitar el peso y luego se hace el corte final.
And this one, now maybe you know, we can reduce it.
Pueden reducir.
And we keep it slow. We slow it down. So as this grows bigger, we keep this smaller. So one day when we cut this, it's not as big of a ratio.
Yeah, you slow it because you're reducing the photosynthetic area.
Yeah. And so then the caliper growth slows down.
Sí. Entonces le está cortando esa rama, hojas que producen por medio de la fotosíntesis, producen los alimentos. Esa rama va a crecer como la podó, va a crecer más lento con respecto al tronco.
So we could slow this one down to here, or we could bring it to here, you know. And then we keep this here. That helps this get bigger, but this stays small. And you know, we can slow this down. And that will help that go faster. And maybe we bring this back. And so now it still has foliage. It'll still grow this bigger. But now that one is gonna, the apical dominance will take over. Huh? This one? Yeah, you can do it or not do it. Okay. Okay, para usted.
En palabras más simples, él está balanceando el árbol desde ya para que su crecimiento sea ordenado.
Entonces, por la dominancia apical, él quiere que esa rama principal se fortalezca. Entonces, está manteniendo el follaje que está produciendo la fotosíntesis, está produciendo los azúcares y los nutrientes que sirven para que crezca. Pero entonces toda esa energía se va a concentrar en la principal.
Correcto, correcto. Pero
Okay.
digámoslo así, en palabras muy simples, muy llanas, estamos preparando el árbol para que crezca balanceado. Tuviera un crecimiento ordenado.
Okay. Here's another one.
Fácilmente se enferma. David, pregunta más técnicas con el café, ¿se hace lo mismo?
What is this tree?
It's an avocado.
Oh, okay.
The avocado too?
Oh, yeah, we got an avocado tree here. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Don't they produce flowers and fruit at the same time?
No, here's one, look.
Yeah, right there.
Delicious.
Yes. Are they about ripe?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's an avocado tree.
Yeah, there we go. There they are, hanging on there.
You know avocado means testicle?
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
Yes, yes. Aguacatl in ancient Nahuatl. That's the one of the native Mayan languages.
Okay.
Nahuatl, that's their language. Aguacatl means testicle.
That's where it comes from. Who knew?
Aguacatl,
Now we know.
aguacatl, Testiculo in Nahuatl. Yes.
I told you before. David knows everything.
So
You want to know something about trees? Plants?
you can explain. This is the testicle tree.
Yes.
And somebody asks, well, if I have to explain,
Yeah. You're not very observant.
si tengo que explicar,
Pues siempre hay una manera. There's always a way to explain things.
Always. All right, so we're here. We're gonna close up shop here. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock. It's like 2.5 hours back to the city from here. So these guys are from Guatemala City, and 2.5 hours, it's 20 miles. Can you believe that? Took us 2.5 hours to get out here last night. it's 20 miles. That's crazy. But I think we had a good day of training today. Game of trees, we're having fun.
Summer heat and tundra cold and throwing a storm of three. Stakes are high, there's always a risk when you're playing the game of trees.